The sprint car is loaded and once again ready to head to the racetrack. As many of you guys know, we raced this past Thursday at the Skagit Speedway. I uploaded that video Monday, and then we didn't head anywhere for Saturday. Usually we head to the Cycleland Speedway so then we can get some sprint car racing in a weekend and get some outlaw kart racing for myself and Carly to run. It was going to be 102 degrees down at the Cycleland Speedway in Chico, California, and yes, we did really want to go racing, but we decided to take the Saturday off. We went to the lake, hung out as a family, and did things that, we just don't really get to do with a busy racing schedule. So that was fun, but now it is time to get back to work. It is Tuesday when I'm shooting this video, and the car is already loaded, which means we have a busy week full of racing. But a few quick things to talk about before we get into today's video. Some big news broke in the sprint car world to start the week. On Monday, they announced that the Kings Royal was canceled, and today, Tuesday, they announced that the 410 portion of the Knoxville Nationals was also canceled. Now, obviously, as a huge sprint car fan myself, this was extremely disappointing news to hear. I wanted to watch the Knoxville Nationals. I wanted to watch the Kings Royal. It's cool to see the best of the best go at it. And this year, it's just not going to happen. I totally understand why they had to cancel these events with the lack of fans that they're going to be able to have in the stands with, so much of a percentage of a capacity allowed, depending on what state you're in. It's just not possible to pay those high purses with, limited number of people watching. The pay-per-view thing obviously does work for the weekly stuff. It seems like the Skagit Speedway has had great success live streaming, having no fans in the stands, having a few people through the back gate, with the crew members and the drivers and whatnot, but a lot of people tuning in on Thursday night, so it's awesome to see that happen on a weekly basis, but it's really hard to have these big events with, $150,000 to win, do that through pay-per-view. It's just not really possible. So for sure, 2020 has been a year like no other. For us, it started out with the West Coast Nationals being canceled, and that really started our quarantine, through the end of March, into April, into May, and then at the end of May, racing did resume, and it started to really go thoroughly throughout the country. And we were able to do the racing thing, but no fans in the stands, so that was just something else that's been really, really weird, not having that many people there watching. Skagit, a beautiful facility, we'll go up there, and we're all just in this one little section. You look across, and there's no one there. It's just, like I said, definitely something different. I'm not complaining though. I'm excited that we're able to race as much as possible here in the Pacific Northwest, and places like Skagit and other tracks are going to be giving us that opportunity during the situation we have here in the United States. But I will say though, I will be pumped when it's all back to normal and we will see Cottage Grove, Skagit, and everywhere else absolutely packed during these weekly shows supporting their local drivers. So that has all been absolutely crazy. I don't even think I welcomed you guys back to today's video, so welcome back. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic Wednesday. The whole topic for today's video is our schedule for the week. We are racing 3 times, as you guys can tell from the title of the video, and in total, we are going to be traveling 1,000 miles throughout the Pacific Northwest. Now, when we were shut down for 2 months not being able to race, now that we're open back up, we are going to try to race as much as possible, and one of the cool opportunities that has really arisen is some midweek racing, like you've seen at Skagit running on Thursday nights. Well, this week, not only will we get to run on a Thursday night, we will also get to run Wednesday, and then run Thursday, and then also race Saturday. Now, when you guys originally read the title and the thumbnail to today's video, you probably thought they are traveling a long ways away from home, which yes, we are, but 2 of the tracks are actually much closer. It's just one of them is so far away. Now, unfortunately, we are not going to the Midwest. That's maybe one of the thoughts you guys had, or maybe we're going down south. Like I said, we are still kind of staying in our home territory. Now, the day that you guys are watching this video, we will be competing at the Coos Bay Speedway in Coos Bay, Oregon. That is over on the coast. After that, we will be making the trip up to the Skagit Speedway to run a Thursday Night Thunder event. To mention, that will be a 360 race at Skagit. The Coos Bay race will be in our limited. Then we have a day off, which is Friday. And then on Saturday for the 4th of July, we'll be running at the Cottage Grove Speedway for their season opener in the limited. Now, I put together a little map on where these racetracks are located in the states of Oregon and Washington. I thought this would be cool to show you, to kind of show you the direction that we were going to be going through up here in the Pacific Northwest. So like I said, I put together a little bit of a map for you guys to show you where we're going to be traveling. So we're here in Southern Oregon. We are located right outside of Medford. And the first night, we're going to be heading to Coos Bay. Coos Bay over on the coast. That is a 160-mile journey there. So we're going 160 miles here the first night. And then after Coos Bay, we're heading all the way up here to the Skagit Speedway located in Alger, Washington. Now that right there is a 470-mile trip. Then after we race in Alger, almost at the Canadian border, we were literally like 30 minutes from Canada. That's probably the closest I've ever gotten up there to Canada. All my Canadian friends up there and fans, thank you so much for watching the videos. After that, we have Friday off, and we're going to be traveling back down all the way to the Cottage Grove Speedway, which is only 2 hours north of where we live. Then we will run on Cottage Grove on Saturday. Super excited to get back to the Speedway there. Like I said, a beautiful racetrack. So this is my diagram here. We start in Medford, we're gonna head over to Coos Bay, then we head all the way up into Washington to the tippy top of Washington and Alger, and then back down to Cottage Grove. Not necessarily the ideal trip, like I said, 1,000 miles. And this trip right here is about 370, so that caps off our 1,000-mile drive between 3 racetracks this week. Figured that diagram would kind of give you guys a little bit of a look at what we're doing here between Coos Bay, Skagit, and Cottage Grove. Now my plan is to make actually a little bit of a traveling vlog between the 3 races, kind of show you guys a little bit of life on the road for us, a limited and 360 sprint car team, what we're going to be doing traveling late at nights, and what we have to do to also get the car ready to go in between races. Now, some of you guys are going to be asking, Tanner, how are you going to transport the limited and the 360? That's just really, really tough to do. You have to have a big enough hauler, and obviously we don't. We only can fit 1 car in here. And it's not like we can fit a spare car up here or anything. So what we are doing is, remember the little trailer, our little go-kart trailer that we have that we actually started with in the sprint car and we had to take the wing off? So what our plan is, we have our limited in right here. We are going to be running this in Coos Bay. We put the 360 without a wing in that other little trailer. My crew chief, Roger Henderson, is going to follow us over to Coos Bay with that little trailer. After the night in Coos Bay, hopefully we have some good results, and then we will put the 360 in this trailer, put the limited without a wing into the little go-kart trailer. We will do the drive from Coos Bay to Cottage Grove, because that's how you have to get back to I-5, Interstate 5, and travel up to Skagit. We have a place arranged in Cottage Grove to leave that trailer for the limited so we can run it on Saturday. Then we will all travel together in the RV up to Skagit, run there, come back Friday, pick up the limited, and do the regular maintenance and everything we're going to have to do to get it ready for Saturday. So we are going to have 2 trailers for this trip. We've never done that before, so something else just to make this exciting, but anything to go racing. Like I said, we had those 2 months of being shut down, so now when we have the opportunity to race pretty close to home with Coos Bay and Cottage Grove, Skagit, I wouldn't really call that close to home, but we have the opportunity to run these few different tracks with the limited and the 360. We are going to take advantage of it. And I know some of you guys are down in the comment section down below commenting, Tanner, why do you still have your limited? Why don't you just move on to full-time 360? I absolutely would love to do that. Like I've said a few times, I don't necessarily live in the greatest area for full-time 360 racing. I definitely could run a lot of shows in the year, and our goal for 2020, if it was a normal year, we were going to try to run the least amount of limited shows as possible and as many 360s as we could. But by still owning the limited, we're able to fill in a few shows a year where we might not be able to go run the 360, and the limited also runs a little bit closer to home, which is nice, like for example Coos Bay and Cottage Grove. So anyway, that is our plan for the week. We leave the morning that you guys are watching this video, gonna be a lot of driving for my dad. I'm really hoping to learn how to drive the motorhome here soon. I got my license a few months ago, and I'm ready to also take on that challenge. Anyways, I'll see you guys all in these exciting vlogs that are coming up. Thank you so much for all the support lately. I've been reading all of your guys' comments, all of your guys' messages. I know it's been a little bit of a rough start to our sprint car season, but we're ready to turn it around with Coos Bay, Skagit for $2,000 to win. Forgot to mention that because of the Independence Day race, they added some extra money, $400 to start. So overall, everyone is going to be winning with that payout. And then back to Cottage Grove on Saturday to race with a lot of my good friends and with the family. See you guys all in the next video. Thank you. Deuces.